Hello and welcome to another Pregnant and Poppin'. My name is Bianca Ingram, and on this episode I am entering a new decade. So today this video is coming out on March 8th. My birthday is March 9th and I am turning 30, and I could not be more excited about this new chapter in my life. So first, I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm so excited to be turning 30, because I know some people turn 30 and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so old. I, however, feel like I am just getting better with time, and I've never felt as good as I feel right now. So I am super excited for everything that this chapter is going to bring into my life. And here's a little bit about why. I've been thinking a lot about how I want to raise my son and what lessons I've had in my life that I want to instill in him, and all that kind of parent stuff. In doing that, I've been feeling very retrospective, and I've been looking back on the last decade of my life, the last 10 years, and just my growth. Like, who I am now in comparison to who I was when I was 20 is completely different. And in the best way possible. Like, at 20, I thought, oh, I've got my life plan all figured out. By 25, I am going to be, completely secure in my career. You'll see me on red carpets, and I'll have a couple Grammys under my belt. I will be married by 26, have my first child by 27, and I felt like I had life all figured out. But let me tell you, I am so thankful it did not work out that way, because, ooh, child, if I had picked the person that I was with at that time of my life, wah, wah, wah. We always have plans for our life, and sometimes those plans don't go that way, but that's because you have to realize that there's a bigger plan in place, and the universe works in ways that our human minds just will never be able to understand, but you have to just go with the flow. And sometimes when you feel discouraged or you feel disappointed, yeah, you give yourself a little minute to feel that, but then try to recognize that things didn't go that way, but it's still going your way. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are still working in your favor. And just because you're disappointed that your plan didn't pan out, the big plan is still panning. Trust me. Sometimes I wish I knew better when I was younger. Sometimes I wish that I had made different choices, or was just not as naive when I was younger. But it's those choices and those experiences that I went through that led me to where I am now. And so the joy and the peace that I feel now, I would not give that up for anything. I feel really good internally now. My 20s for me felt very chaotic. I was still really trying to figure myself out. I was still trying to figure out what kind of people I want to have around me in my life. I was still trying to figure out, there is hair all on my lips. The heck? I was still trying to figure out how I wanted my career to go. What do I want to look like visually? What do I want to bring to the industry? What do I want to sound like sonically? What is my brand? What do I stand for? What things are important to me? There was just so many questions that I didn't have the answer to, which is how I came up with my Instagram handle, who is Bianca, because I really didn't know. And you know, I felt like, you know, I'll never really know who I am. So who is Bianca is a great brand name because I'm always changing. And there is truth to that. There is truth that every day you change, every day you change, every day you grow. And I am constantly learning who is Bianca. But I feel like now, more than ever before in my life, I'm aware of me. I'm aware of what makes me happy. I'm aware of when something is disturbing my peace and how to leave that alone. For every person that was in my life in my 20s who are no longer a part of my life, I'm not about to be shady. Shady boots. But for every person who is no longer a part of my life that was some way in my 20s, you know, it taught me how to let go of things, because I'm a hoarder. Like, I love people so hard and I hold on and I fight for it, and some people just need to be let go of. It taught me how to move on and find closure without actually getting closure. It taught me really hard lessons that only losing people you really care about could teach you. It was painful losing some of these people, like, and how I lost them. It was very painful because there wasn't always good communication. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm not really friends with certain people anymore, what have you, but I still wish them the best and I still root for them. Do I, you know, follow them on social media? No, but I don't wish them anything bad. And I feel like when I was younger, I'd be like, well, you know, I don't want them, da, 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 da. You know, all the petty stuff. And I grew out of that, and I always wanted to do better and be better, but I didn't know how. And now that I have the tools and the maturity to do better, life just feels easier. And for every guy that I thought I couldn't live without, that I was so heartbroken over, look at me living! No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. I really am living. But, but for all those guys, you know, it didn't work out because they didn't deserve me. And I was learning things along the way that were molding me into the woman that I needed to be for Paul, to be the woman that Paul deserves in our fantastic relationship. Because I wasn't ready for Paul when I met him. I met him when I was 20 or 21, so really early on in my 20s, and we were dating for a while. You know, you let me tell it, I was his girlfriend, and he was like, I'm not ready for anything this serious. So he broke up with me. He won't say that though. He doesn't think he broke up with me. He said that we just were on pause. But I feel like when you go on pause and then you get in another relationship and I'm like talking to other people, we're broke up. So he broke up with me. But I say all that to say that we both had to take that time. And we remained friends the whole time, so we stayed in contact. But we were able to give each other the space to grow, to become who we needed to be for each other. Because he said in the very beginning that he knew if we really do this, he was gonna marry me. He said that out the gate. I didn't believe him. I was like, no, you're just saying a line. Guys are liars, blah, blah, blah. I guess he wasn't lying because we got together and now we're getting married. But we needed that time to become who we are now so we could become who we're gonna be, parents. Get it? This necklace is getting on my nerves. Wah, wah. Also in my 20s, I felt like personally, I was still trying to figure out where I fit in the world. Like it's important for me, I think, to leave the world a little bit better than you started when you first came into the world. And I had to figure out what that meant for me. Because for some people, it's being a doctor and helping people along the way. For others, it's maybe doing some community service. For some people, it's just doing a kind gesture every day. But I knew I wanted to do something a little bit bigger, a little bit bolder. I wanted to really leave a statement that said something, that really made a wave in the industry that I'm in, because this is a male-dominated industry, the entertainment world, and I'd say it really took me 9 years to figure out Amazonian Nights, that was a way that I could give back to women in entertainment, because that's something that was always important to me. Like, if you look throughout my 20s, there was always a thread. Like, I was a part of a group called Team Pretty, where it was women in entertainment, helping other women, helping the community, and just trying to be a bright light. Then that fizzled out, but I was still speaking at women empowerment engagements. I was still, trying to mentor people and trying to, not just people, but specifically women. I was always a part of women's causes. And so I realized I need to make this a thing. So that's how Amazonian Nights kind of came about, because the people around me saw how important it was for me to try and be a voice for the voiceless in this entertainment industry. And that took 9 years. Things take time, guys. Like, you need to live life in order to figure out where you really want to fit in and how you want to give back. In order to grow, you have to be willing to change. Growing up in my 20s, I used to be that girl who was really insecure and had a lot of trust issues, and I would go through the guy I was talking to's phone, or I would be stalking his Instagram. I'm like, who's this girl, and just ready to start a fight over anything. And actually 98% of the time I was right, because trust your instincts. But there's a way to handle things in a mature way and still express yourself without acting crazy and not being crazy. And if you feel like you need to go through someone's phone, or you feel like you need to be all rah-rah, just walk away from it, because it's disturbing your peace. But it took me changing, stopping doing that, to grow and get to where I'm at now, where now it's just and this has nothing to do with Paul. This was in between, after my last relationship. I took 2 years to be by myself. And I learned that if someone just didn't feel right to me, it just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it for me to even try, because I knew that there was someone out there who I would just feel peaceful with. I knew that because I already felt that with Paul as my friend. And I always hoped that we would have the opportunity to be together. And by me taking the time to grow and recognize that, I think that's one of the reasons that the universe finally brought him into my life, because they're like, okay, she gets it now, And so this leads me into saying how I've been practicing creating my own universal algorithm, so to speak, because when I read The Secret, and I always kind of knew thoughts become things, and the importance of being careful of the words that you speak and what you write down and what you visualize, because that manifests, right? So I had to learn how to speak kindly about myself and love myself, and start writing affirmations and believing those affirmations. And before Paul came into my life, I actually made a whole vision board of what I wanted in a man, and from looks down to personality, down to everything. Then I got a journal, and in my journal I would write every day just how I want my life to be. I will be able to have kids. I will be successful in my career. I will change the lives of women in entertainment. All kinds of things like that. And I just kept writing it and believing it. Really feeling grateful that these things were happening, even before they happened. And then these things just started coming to me. Everything that I started thinking and saying and writing started manifesting, because the key component to manifestation is feeling that gratitude and honoring where you are. So, if you're in your 20s and you're watching this, you're gonna go through what you go through, but honor where you are. Be grateful for all the little things, even that you have eyes to watch this video, that you have ears to hear, that you have an opportunity every day you wake up to do something different, to try again and be better than the day before. Those are all little things that you can be 100% grateful for. And I promise you, that good that you have in your life that you're focusing on, it will get better. Like so much better, so much better. Where I am right now in my life, I have never felt more blessed. Aside from me finding the peace where, I just really love myself and I am comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable with the fact that I'm weird. I'm comfortable with the fact that I'm terrible at math. I am comfortable with the fact that I might lash out and hit you if you're chewing your food too loud. I don't feel like I need to adjust and change to make other people comfortable around me. I just have the right people around me who love me for me. And that is a result of me just accepting and loving myself. And so when I was able to finally do that, I feel like the universe felt like it was time to bring Paul into my life. I believe that the person that you are, with is a reflection of you. And so when I look at him and I realize that I have picked someone so special and so wonderful because he loves me so deeply. So let me help you guys understand. The relationship that I was in prior to Paul, it shattered me in a way that I don't think anybody really deserves. Throughout my 20s, I kind of felt already cracked and a little broken because I was lost. Because I was lost, people were using me and people were hurting me and I didn't know how to heal. I didn't know how to communicate my feelings and I just kept like a glass just breaking and breaking. And when that last relationship ended, I was just shattered pieces on the ground. Just completely wandering the world like, what now? And Paul came into my life and saw that I was trying to pick up the pieces. I was trying to, put the pieces back together and make myself whole because I didn't want to be with anyone that I really cared about and be broken and make it their responsibility to fix me. That's not their job. It is, I think it's totally hogwash to say that, oh, this person makes me whole. Paul noticed that I was trying to put the pieces back together and he became like the sealant within the cracks because although I was together and I was whole, I was still fragile. But he was like that thing that's just like, listen, you're not gonna break again, not with me. I got you. And he just sealed everything together tightly and I'm not so fragile anymore. Now I can drop and I bounce around. I'm almost like a rubber ball, like I'm okay. And that is what loving yourself can draw to you. Oh, I love you, thank you. And I also learned in my 20s, the more you mind your business, live for you, and focus on the good gets better. In closing, I want to say that nothing happens by chance. Nothing happens by chance. The universe, again, it works in ways that we will not understand, but this is where faith comes in. This is where trust comes in. You just have to believe that no matter what it is you're going through, no matter what storm you're facing, no matter what darkness you're in right now, that it's always darkest before the dawn. That's just what it is. It is making you stronger. It is building you up for what it is that you really want. And you just have to know that everything is working for your good. And it might not feel good right now, but you just have to know it. And you can't let that go, even if you have to write it down every day. that everything is working for my good. Everything will work out. Everything will be okay. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in the end, everything will pan out. You have to know that. And that's really what I took away from my 20s. And now I feel prepared and I feel excited about this new decade I'm entering into. I could not be more excited. I just feel like I'm gonna look my best, I'm gonna feel my best. Cheers to me and all my life lessons and being pregnant and popping and 30 flirt. Well, I can't say 30 flirt. I'm only flirting with Paul. But shirty, 30, murdy, 30. I'm gonna need to come up with a, everything is kind of like not what I want it to be, like mommy 30. I don't know, I'll think of something. But here's to 30. Let's clink our imaginary glasses. Clink, 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 clink. And thank you for watching. Drop a comment, wish me happy birthday. I want all the love, I want all the positive vibes, all the positive energy. And again, like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. I love you. Oh, sorry. I love you guys forever for supporting me throughout all my craziness. Some of you have been around since I was 20 and been supporting me, and I'm just so grateful. And if I haven't thanked you personally, this is it. Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much, my Bianculars out there. And I got a lot of things coming for you. This decade, keep your eyes peeled, y'all, because we turning it up a little bit. All right. Thanks again for watching. Bye.